Gentlemen, and welcome to the Festival and Community Events meeting tonight for Wednesday, January 15th. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call the meeting to order at 7:03. With that, any deletions or additions to tonight's agenda? If not, I'd like a motion to approve it.
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? On favor? Aye. All right. The minutes from November 20th. I'm hoping that everybody got a chance to read Madam Secretary's minutes she submitted. If so, I need a motion to approve the minutes from November 20th, 2019.
Item number 12 calls for a December meeting. Do we have to note that it didn't happen, or?
So we need to amend the minutes. Thank you, Scott. So what was that? Number?
12.
I don't go through 10.
Oh, sorry.
Your minutes?
No, my agenda.
Wait, we're talking
Oh,
about
I
the
mean the
minutes.
minutes.
Right here. See?
Okay, so we will amend the agenda, or the minutes. Any other corrections or deletions? I need a motion to accept the minutes as submitted then.
I'll make a motion.
George, second.
Second.
Kevin, all in favor? Aye. All right. Any public comment tonight?
Anyone?
That's a good thing
In the back over there?
sometimes. Yeah, you back there? Casper. Thank you. My report. I guess I'm going to, I got confused with I'm thinking, how come we don't have our things listed on here? But that's a couple of things I want to bring up that, in February, we're going to have either Officer Pellin and hopefully someone from the fire department here, so we can discuss the safety programs and the traffic that, goes on with this event. And, sponsorships in detail, all the forms will be going up within the next week online at GrosdaleIslandFest.com. Volunteer recruitment, always a big one. And the vendors. I'm going to share that we got a food vendor application today for someone that I never recognized. And, we know all our food vendors out there. And I was kind of surprised that it was a 2019 form. So we don't accept that, do we? Commission? Right. I don't know how they got the food vendor because it never goes online, but there was
Unless they made a copy.
hefty check in there with that. So, we'll have Gail address that. If you're watching, Gail.
2020 updated form, because
Correct.
we have very small changes, grammatical and
Right.
that type of stuff, but that's
Cool.
it.
Can you still get the 2019 form online right now?
Shane was supposed to pull those off today. So,
That's probably what.
Yeah.
I asked him like a week ago, but
We'll contact
no,
the vendor
the food vendor forms are never available online.
Oh, they're never available.
No,
Maybe they made a copy from last.
could be. Was there someplace called White Dove?
It's not a repeat.
No, it's not a repeat
Oh,
food vendor.
maybe they got it from somebody.
Yeah, they sell walking tacos, or those things you put in the bag with the Fritos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of look cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll hold on to that.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Nelson, do you have anything you'd like to bring to the table?
I just want to say that the meeting that we had with the township board, whenever that was, I can't remember, but it was very, very productive. It needed to happen. We could share everything that we needed to share with the board based on the bridge issue and what else is going on. And so I thank all you guys for doing that, and it was a very good meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we had the whole township board present except for one, and then we had a few spectators, or what do you call them? Because it was an open meeting, so
Very
thank you,
productive.
everybody. We have bridge update down there further. Is that it, Jim? All right. Is there supposed to be something for Kim on here? Okay, all
I
right.
mean, we've never had it. but-
We're gonna tweak this agenda going forward. I think there should be a spot for Kim's report too, with festival, yes. And then new business and old business. If you look at the other agendas for the other commissions, there's always new business and old business, because we do have some new business to discuss. So let's put that on there, that we'll update the agendas. Thank you. Discussion items. All right, so when we met in November, we talked about how we can cut the budget a little bit. At the township meeting that we had 2 weeks ago, the study session, Kim, do you want to tell them what we lowered the budget to from 52.6?
Okay. I thought it'd be good to update the commission on, the items we did talk about with the board, because I know some commissioners were there and some were not. So basically, when we met with the board, we kind of talked about, we're trying to get, is the bridge going to be open or closed? That's the biggest issue that we're dealing with. And again, even I think Monday night supervisor did not have an update on the bridge. So we are kind of in a holding pattern as far as, spending money, those types of things until we know exactly what's going on. So, and then we also discussed the financial impact if the free bridge again, were to be closed. And if we would have support from, the general fund, and we always get support from police and fire and DPS. We have support with all the surrounding things that they help us out with. And I felt confident with the board having support if for some reason that bridge is closed, because the ultimate goal is to have a festival for our community, and what size of festival is what we are trying to determine, because obviously if the bridge is open, all systems go. If the free bridge is closed, we will have to downsize, period. And how do we do that? That's kind of where we're at. So that's what we kind of discussed. The big revenue maker for our budget is the carnival, okay? And I think somebody had asked, is there a penalty if we cancel the carnival? There is no penalty, okay? I don't feel that we would want to cancel the carnival. We spoke to Sherbeck, and they will get the rides over the bridge one way or the other.
Most of them.
Most of them, I'm sorry, the toll bridge. So, we're kind of moving forward with everything that we always do. But, what we had discussed with the board is reducing our budget to about, I got to find my page,
50,000.
about 50. Right now, we're budgeted for 62.5. Okay, so we're going to challenge ourselves as a commission to start making those cuts, because we might need to, okay? Because we don't know whether that bridge is going to be open or not. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what we talked about. Chad feels confident that, we can definitely, make cuts, but we also want the public to know that, the cuts, we don't want them to be too, you're going to notice some things that might not have been there in the past, but we also don't want the commission to be, ridiculed for cutting some of those things out, because we don't know what the bridge is going to be. So that's kind of what the discussion was in a nutshell. Do you want to add anything?
I do, yes, because
Go ahead.
in the November meeting, off the top of my head, I came up with some things that right off the bat that we could downsize and save some money. I would like to put it to the commission now too, to see if there's ideas they've come up with in the last 2 months. I know that we should not have the phone party for the cost that is. The tent, I had brought that up in November. It's 160 by 60 square foot tent that we're paying over $4,000 for. I don't think we need a tent that big. Volunteer shirts, for the amount of volunteers that we get, I don't think we should be dropping anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on any kind of shirts like that. We can compensate you with a hot dog and a soda. Something, we'll work something out.
Those are the types of
I'm
things
just
where,
saying.
I would love for the commission to start thinking. We were all there last year. What can we do budgetarily to kind of shrink things down? I got a call from the farm fella that was out here. I have not returned his call.
Yeah, we only paid $500 for that, but I
Yeah,
don't know. Do we want to have them back or not?
Things that we have paid for in the past, is it a viable entity to the community? Should we bring it back? Should we not? That's kind of start thinking about that. So come February, we should have a bridge update, I hope, Jim, you think?
Well, I don't think we can keep hoping for that bridge update, excuse me, because as Supervisor Loftus said Monday, he had so much little information to give us as of now, and we can't keep just holding off and waiting for that, because Wayne County could come in the third week of May and say, I'm sorry, guys, boom. I mean, look what happened in November. So we can't hold back sending out sponsor forms and vendor forms and those kind of things, because we need to start bringing that revenue in. So the things I just mentioned were no's. Possibilities to cut: do we need to spend a couple thousand on Wi-Fi? What's the input from you guys? We spend a little over 2,000 for that Wi-Fi, so there's Wi-Fi in the hangar for our vendors so they can use their Q readers. Comments?
That seems like a pretty important thing to have.
And we've only had that the past 3 years, I believe. We used to not have Wi-Fi in that
A
hangar.
lot of the vendors were asking if we're gonna have it when they sign up, right? I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
how they're
that's the
charge
hard
their-
part, because the vendors do have the electronic, their phones and all of that, so.
Further.
Is it possible to run a cable from inside Township Hall and put the Wi-Fi out there? Uta had mentioned that. I don't know the possibility of that. All right. The VIP area. What are your thoughts of bringing that back to our sponsors? Go ahead, Karen.
Well, we did discuss it that night in the meeting. I think it's important, especially for sponsors that come on board. And last year, I heard so many, in spite of the rain and you know, the mud and everything we had out there because of the weather, I heard so many positive things. And even when us having it on Wednesday or on Sunday night, people were still having a good time and commenting how it was nice that they had the VIP area. I think that's really important to keep.
So then we need to come up with a plan B that if it does rain, where we can put those VIP people.
Well, exactly. And what I was thinking, because the mud was the main issue, obviously, is maybe, I think we had a discussion at one time about bringing them down closer to the opening where the hangar is and having them somewhere where they're not going to be on dirt.
Right, we need to move them off the grass.
So
That
I was
the
told
biggest
this by two people in Township Hall downstairs today, that there are piles of gravel and or whatnot
the-
sitting across the
issue. They're
street.
fixing that.
That's where I
already
was
been
going with
done.
that.
You know
They
that
said,
walkway that led to the carnival?
We need to ask Mike Duker now, opposed to later, to get some of that gravel and gravel that path that was going from here down to the runway. And then maybe a week before the event, we can throw wood chips down. Was that you that
Did I
said
did
that to
it?
me?
Yes, he's going to help us.
Dale brought that up too, yeah. I always thought it would be great if we could have some kind of opening down here where that French fry truck sits. It goes, and we just put fencing, our fence guy here, of some sort down there. Is everything okay? Oh. Not a bug over there? Put some kind of walkway that they can get down that way too. But, and then we have to think of handicap and wheelchair accessible. If you go and look at some of the Facebook posts that were on last year and stuff, and we don't supply those benches at the carnival. Skirbics bring those in. So, and then when we had that study session a couple of weeks ago, we talked about downsizing on porta potties, and that was a big no-no. We got to keep all those
Yeah.
poopy buckets out there.
Another thing I've thought of that I want to bring up to the commission that I kind of noticed was there were people walking from the area where the bands were. Did you see people cutting through from the bands to the carnival? So start thinking about, should we have a walkway from that tent there out to the carnival? And the reason I think we kept that clear was the fireworks setup, and can we open that pathway prior to the fireworks? That type of stuff. Because I kept flying through there with the buggy trying to keep people from off the runway.
Trish was there too for a while.
Yeah. So just little setup things that you guys, start thinking about that over the next 30 days. Bring your input to February so we can, start really thinking about the setup and things that should we not have those types of things. That's kind of what we need to plan.
Well, I have two things that are definitely yeses. The website. We have to have our exposure out there, so we need to continue with the website. And the fireworks, obviously. And I know there's questions from some of the higher-ups about, Friday and Saturday, but everybody seems to be on board with keeping them on Saturday.
Fireworks are Saturday.
And let me explain really quick out there to you folks. The reason we decided not to go back to Friday is because everybody's rushing home from work. Kids are still in school. They're going to come down here, maybe get an hour or two in before the fireworks. So if we keep them on Saturday, they're more apt to come down and spend the whole day here, ride rides, do some shopping, eat a bunch of junk food, have a beverage or two. So we just think that
Plus, the band for the middle school goes to Cedar Point that day, so they always miss it.
on Friday.
Friday.
And the alternative for the fireworks will be Sunday, same as,
Sure.
because I think there was some confusion in that last year. And I don't know if we publicized it or, I think we're automatically assuming people would know the makeup day would be the next night. But that would be, the alternative night would be that Sunday. And same as last year, Carnival would stay open. So we're kind of following the model of what we did last year, so.
Scurbix did acquire a new ride that they will be able to get across the toll bridge with the weight limit. I'm not going to say what it is. It is a thrill ride. It's not for the faint of heart. So for the two big ones we're going to miss, we're going to get a new one.
I heard it's a top thrill dragster, is that right?
Something like that, 120 miles an hour at 42 stories in 4 seconds, yeah. Kim, anything else we need to touch on there?
I don't think so. Just,
I have a question about the fireworks. Do they revolve around, like, if we overdo sponsors, do we increase fireworks? Is there a relationship there or
Yes.
anything?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
We need sponsors for the fireworks, extremely important.
I mean, when you're driving down the street, if you see a lawn company or a building, we have plenty of developers over here, put in your phone the name of that company, and we'll get those names to our secretaries at the rec that can send letters to them. It's so important with our sponsorship levels this year. It's always important, but with everything in question and the
on.
direction of this event, it's pertinent about donations and sponsorships. If you don't see something you like on the form, we can customize one for you. So
So, Commission, if you have an idea of somebody we have not reached out to in the past, email me, call me, that, and I could probably email you the list of people that we,
I do
Well,
have a
yeah,
list of who we use already.
absolutely, yep, we'll get that
That
out.
would be very helpful.
Yep, so,
go on the website and it has the big donors and stuff are listed there. And then as we progress towards the event, even the $100, I forgot the term that is. The $100 one is your name on it's name on social media. It doesn't include
think it's
anything, but
yeah.
it's back
have
in the
to pull it
day,
up.
it was you had a plaque that went somewhere. But yeah, and the higher you go, the more exposure you get on all our social media platforms. And we upped the tickets for the $500 sponsorship, it was 2, but we upped that to 4 because each level
For the
includes
VIP?
more. Yes. So we, yeah, go ahead, Kim.
just with the budget, because I found the page, I was kind of scurrying, just to give you an idea of what we kind of talked to with the board. As again, we budgeted 62.5. That was our starting budget. Just to give you an idea, we've budgeted $1,000 for supplies. That's miscellaneous things. The entertainment was originally budgeted for 17,000. We dropped that to 10.
But did that include the sound and lights and everything?
That includes ASCAP, staging, sound, lighting, and a tent.
So that does not include the bands then? That would be sound and lighting. I'm not throwing you out there, I'm just saying
Yeah.
because I have different numbers.
But these are goals,
All right,
again.
goals,
We're-
okay.
We're trying to establish a budget and lower all the brackets. How do we stay in there? That's the goal. So I'm saying 10, but it's not set in stone. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So on promotion, this would include our banners, posters, newspaper advertising, signage, brochures, those types of promotional things. We budgeted 6,000.
The VIP food in there?
No, that
This
was
is our
7,700.
expenditures, yeah. This is an expenditure. And we budgeted 3,000 for that. I'll go through all these. And then miscellaneous expenses, volunteer shirts, supplies, trash bags, those types of things. We budgeted 7. We're going to try to drop it to 5. Again, these are goals. We have to have a kind of a goal in our head. Equipment rental, porta potties, hangar cleaning, equipment rental, parking lights, tents, tables, chairs, dumpsters, those types of things. Originally was budgeted 16.5. We're gonna try to drop that to 10. And then originally budgeted for the fireworks was 15,000, and I kind of left that right where it's at.
But we are committed to 8,000 to this commission for Ace Pyro, right off the bat. We have to guarantee them 8,000 out of our
1,000.
budget.
Remainder comes in as sponsors.
And then the rest comes in as sponsorships. As it increases, then we can allocate more. And then I think it's 3 weeks before the event. He has
Right.
to have a definite number so he can finalize the
1,000 of
show
our 50 is
for
fireworks.
fireworks, yes.
Right.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
So with that being said, with the bands, I'm gonna put this number out there to book 2 bands for $6,500. I'm not gonna say who gets how much. We can get 50 amp and Karen, where's my notes here? Phoenix Theory. I would recommend that we put 50 amp on Saturday night, Phoenix Theory on Friday. You guys agree down there?
I agree with that.
Down here. Scott?
Oh, sure.
Well, everybody shook their head yes. I'm just kind of watching. Okay, let's proceed with that. And then let's keep our feelers out for somebody a little less expensive. We haven't booked any opening acts. Are we even going to bring those kids in on Saturday afternoon? That basically only cost us $100 because we give a donation, you know? So we need some ideas from you guys about other entertainment, you know? What else?
I have one more thing. I've been in communication with the VFW, and, you know, their concern is obviously the bridge as well, but, you know, they have to put in for their permit for their license as well. You know, I don't know how long that all takes. I don't go through that process, but, you know, they're concerned as well, so, but we are rolling forward with the event, and I will let them know that unless they're both bridges closed, then we're really in trouble, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Bridget.
But, you know, so just to let you know, I have been in communication with them
Sure.
and all of that, so. And they will be doing the beer as usual. Okay.
All right. So, can anybody think of any other ways to downsize things or cut back?
John, did you have a comment?
Yeah, can we make sure we get all liquor license due Sunday? Should we have rain?
Yes, we can.
Doesn't cost anything additionally, just to make sure that we have them and, us covered to go till midnight on Sunday.
Yep. I'll let VFW know as well. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good point. Thank you.
Additional length.
Are
Any
you,
other ideas about? Go ahead, Scott.
you said midnight. The same
I
thing
don't
about
think
2 a.m.
For
For liquor licenses.
the event just runs till 2. I mean, till midnight.
But it doesn't cost you anything to absolutely
I don't know
say.
the answer to that.
No, I know it doesn't.
Okay, good. That's good.
Oh, he's making a comment. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else about cutbacks? Anything that you can think of that we can do?
One of the questions I have is we're bringing this budget down to 50,
Mm-hmm.
and this budget starts out at 62.5 in revenue and 62.5 in expense. I mean, are we looking at revenue? Revenue is our biggest unknown because of the bridge
That
situation.
is why we're dropping, because we don't know. That's why you drop your expenses to the best that you can, so you don't super.
We could drop that to 50,000 and we
With
could
you.
double what we made last year, the year before. It's just a crapshoot, you know? Or it could rain for 3 days and boom, there goes, everything comes out of the wreck and then we're borrowing from this person and that person. So, but yeah, as Kim has taught me the past couple of years, we just have to have a number to go by. Because Scott, if you look at those numbers the past couple of years, we went way above budget, but we brought in way above our revenue. So, fortunately, yeah. And then that sheet that I gave y'all at that study session 2 weeks ago, and you saw what we used to get, and then I think Jim said we were going to get some money for us. I'm just getting you there, Jim. But What's your input on the vendor forms? Should we keep the prices the same? I say yes. Anybody else? Wendy says yes. I know you and I had discussed things. I mean, like I said, we don't know if they have bridges closed or open. You start giving people deals, they're gonna expect it forever and ever, and we're the ones that need the deal. We, as a group and an event, need the deals on this. I got a bill for sound and staging, and it was $1,700 more than it was last year. Did you see that email? I'm like, dude, we're trying to go back. You know, we're not. But then again, they're not aware that we're gonna have one stage opposed to two, so they're not going to be bringing twice the sound equipment. If we cut back on the performances during the afternoon shifts, we're not going to have somebody out there from noon until midnight that they're paying hourly, you know. So, well, okay. So when we come back in February, just think if there's any other budget cuts you guys can think of how we can save money, other than selling tickets on the street. Woohoo, Mister! You got a dime? All right, that being said, bridge update. We kind of touched on that. You know, Supervisor Loftus said this past Monday. He maybe had a dozen words about what we do and don't know. So we're just going to move forward with our event and call it a day.
Chad, I want to add something to that.
Yes, sir.
As part of what he said on Monday, the county has talked about doing it with 2 different closures,
Right,
one in 20 and one in 21. We don't want that.
right.
We would rather have it all in 20 or all in 21, but not 2 different closures. So we're soon supposed to hear what's going to happen.
I think you're giving more input right now than they gave Monday. No offense out there, but I'm just saying thank you, Jim.
Well, I mean, that's where it's at as of
Right.
Is
A week
this
ago.
idea of opening for the 1 week gone?
No, that's still in the book. Oh, God.
Well, we haven't talked about it yet because we don't know what they're going to do. As soon as we know something concrete, then we can negotiate, hopefully, some of that.
We really don't know what they're going to find or what they didn't find. They're still in the process of their, what are they doing?
Diligence.
They're doing research under there and,
Investigation.
yeah, investigations, and then they have to get quotes and they have to go out for bids on those projects. And so, it's going to be a hometown event for sure.
Already January.
All right. Duties per commissioner. We put this on the agenda because in the next 4 weeks, when we meet in February, kind of see what you guys would like. John, you want to stay with the bands? That was
John.
easy. All right. All right. And then we'll have a detailed list in February of the areas, because I know this has been brought up before. I'd like to go home for a few hours and not, each day. Don't shake your head, Wendy. And everybody should know where the fire extinguishers are, where Kim is if they need her, or, so each one of you can be assigned, pick like either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I mean, most of us are we're here the whole time, but it would be nice if we have a schedule that has this person. You think, 4 hours would be good per commissioner?
Sure.
And the other thing that that I'll be kind of bringing up in February is that I'm going to start to put together kind of policies and procedures in writing for the commission. What to do in the event of emergency. We will have a policy and procedure in writing for money drops, those types of things, lost kid, like all those things that we all think about. I know we discuss them, but I'm going to actually put together a policy and procedure kind of manual for Island Fest. And so if you can think of something that you would like in there, I don't think there's ever been anything developed for this actual
There's
event.
not even a lost and found.
Pardon
We need a lost and found, a central
All these
lost
little
and found.
things that happen, and I remember when Trish had to deal with the restroom problem, the porta potty problem, and then all of us will have the exact same policies and procedures, contact phone numbers, like who do we call in the event of something happens. So I'm gonna start put that together so we all have that on us and we're all on the same page for that. So start thinking of things that you would like to, as a commission, your input in the policies and procedures for this event. It needs to be done, and I'm gonna put the thing together.
And the township also, in the past couple months, has released a paper. Anybody that we have that volunteers has to fill out this form. And if they're under 18, their parent or legal guardian has to sign off on the form.
That would go on, that's another policy and procedure. So it's just stuff like that. Liability, we need to have our ducks in a row, so.
Because it's so easy to grab somebody and say, hey, help me move this table, or will you help me with this? It's going to take one I'm not even going to go there and put ideas out there, but one incident would not be good.
So input from all of you would be very helpful for that piece.
Anything? Anybody? All right. Can you guys in the control room shine that the Elmo with our chili cook-off? I want to announce that. Is it on there? Yay! Look at that glare.
There is a glare.
So if anybody can help out with this or just attend, it's not a big deal, but we're putting together this something for people to get out of the house. It's another event. People get all riled up on social media and they're frustrated because it's raining and it hasn't gotten that cold yet. So, but Saturday, March 7th from noon to 3, chili cook-off. It's Smokies between recreation and then since we're an events committee, it'd be nice if just come down and support it. We skipped Winterfest this year because mostly all of us were down there, but that was about it. So as you can see on the flyer, no canned chili. It's got to be homemade. 2-gallon minimum, prepared for tasting. Bring it in a crock pot. I already talked to the owners of Smokies. They're all online or all on board about plugging stuff in. You please label it hot, medium, mild, or what's above hot?
Inferno.
Girl, run to the body. No.
How you doing?
And then,
Consider it of
what's be
allergies.
considered of allergies? What does that mean? They don't put peanuts in it?
Gluten.
Gluten-free,
Oh.
those types of things,
Yeah,
like,
peanut. Yeah, right. No peanut chili.
No peanut chili? Well,
Shellfish.
think about what you're putting in your chili. I read about that. It's supposed to
Okay.
be there.
it's $5 to enter your chili,
Oh.
and then it's $2 to taste all of them. And then when you pay your $2 to taste them, you will get a ticket. And it's so are we gonna allow one vote?
What does the winner get?
Well, the new flyer, dude, you
'Cause
put me on
that's
the
really-
spot. Well,
I had to put this together in
up here it
5
says say
seconds.
Prizes, yeah. Kim, I need a poster. I'm thinking we could do like maybe a round of golf or a swimming pool pass for a weekend or something. Tickets to something we're
Fun
doing in the
stuff.
summer through recreation.
Round of golf.
Yeah.
Expiration of March 31st.
He's on the wrong commission, I'm telling you.
Well, we would take donations from our community. If you'd like to
Sure.
donate a prize, that would be very nice.
Yeah, because I most of us know people. We all know people up in the around the island that would be more than willing to give us a $20 gift card or a thing of jelly or something like that. And because I had to settle for blurry flyers due to budget cuts. I'm just kidding you. Oh, jelly, I'm thinking of Marie. She's got the coolest jellies and stuff. You must register by February 28th at GrosvilleRecreation.com, and there's already a link up there for the chili cook-off, right? Can I give a shout out to these other events we got coming up since we're on camera? Wendy, when is that family night?
Friday.
Friday when?
This Friday.
And what's it entail and where's it at? Do you have a profile?
Friday
I
is
don't have my phone in front of me. I'm sorry.
family date night.
Yes.
And some people got confused about what is family date night. It used to be mother-son date night. And there was some calls that came in, and I think, Chad, you were the one that led the herd, that there were 2 events for mother-son date night, mother-son bowling,
Bowling,
and
right.
only daddy-daughter dinner dance.
That was Wendy.
Or daddy-daughter dance.
Wow.
So
I wanted the superhero party. just for
Right.
the
So,
record.
I said this is kind of an open family event. Bring the kids. Grandmas can bring, or grandpa can bring whoever. And we set up 2 big bouncy houses in the gym. We have pizza, we have soda, we have music, we have games. We have a giant ice cream bar, and man, was it a mess last year, remember?
It was fun though.
gummy
It's a lot of
worms
fun.
were
Is it
flying,
at the high school?
crafts.
Middle
It
school.
is at the
Middle
middle
school.
school from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So that's,
But we have the gym and the auxiliary gym, which I didn't know that was the place that's, you go down the steps. I thought it was a cafeteria where we had the ice cream bar and all that.
Yeah.
That's a gym.
no, that's the cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
So we have the
Right.
cafeteria. Oh, and the auxiliary gym is the smaller one.
Right.
Right,
All right, so we have those 2 rooms.
right.
It's another reason to get out of this house. That's this Friday. It's $25 for a couple, and then it's $8 per additional kid. So come on out and have some pizzas and ice cream, and
Let the kids run.
let them run on the bouncy houses. See your neighbors and your friends. No beverages on school property. Jim, and then this is a good one. I would love to bring my dog Gigi to this, but the daddy-daughter dance is February 7th,
7th?
which is a Friday night. This is one of the biggest events next to Island Fest is the daddy-daughter dance. I know if we haven't gone over, we're very close to 250 registrations online. I do look at the numbers. You can go on there and see how many signed up and how many spaces are left. You do have the option, Brian Pollock, to bring your third daughter. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We updated that so you can bring all your daughters. But 250 and a couple hundred of those.
Well,
girls.
the other thing we did confirm this past week with the schools, I confirmed, we were always worried about how much space we have because it seemed like we didn't have enough space. So we were able to obtain the main gym and the auxiliary gym and the cafeteria.
Oh, I didn't know the main gym too.
So we do have a little bit more space this year, which is nice. So that's a positive, but it's a lot of people.
Yeah, the past 2 years, a couple hundred screaming girls in those clickety little heels running down the road. Oh, fun. They're
Don't forget the
dressing, dancing.
corsages.
All right.
And support our local businesses.
Shout out to Hawthorne and Vine and Kroger's. They do beautiful corsages for the girls and boutonnieres for daddies.
And just even our local businesses, the hair salons and nails. I'm just Salon Seagrid, and I can't think of the other. There's a couple hair salons on Macomb. So. And
Or you people that live on the island own hair salons off the island.
I too. So,
Just
but it's a
saying.
great event. So try to pre-register so we can have that head count is critical for, seating purposes, food purposes, those types of things. So definitely get registered. We hope not to close anybody out, but it is a big night.
So, dads, you learn how to do that floss, and I'm not talking teeth. It's a dance move. You need to learn. You know how to floss.
No.
The whoa,
Google it.
the whoa, which is the new one, right?
I don't know. What
Just
What's the floss? Is that the this?
there you
do
go.
this?
Stand up so straight.
Oh, I don't know how to do it.
But you just the
I've
floss.
seen it, and it's
So yeah, polish
embarrassing
your
to even
dance
watch.
moves, dads, and it's a huge event. We're really excited about that. So that's Friday, February 7th. Anything else? I think we can wait to announce Easter and all that. Do we have a senior program coming up for the month of January or February? that
We
should
just
shout
have
out?
the bus trip.
Meyer.
No, that's the 22nd.
Oh, and John's thing.
Yeah, the senior trip to Meyer, we're going to continue our 2 times a month taking our seniors in the transit big bus every other Wednesday starting next Wednesday. So, but people need to call. Again, right now, we only have 2 seniors registered to go shopping. And we have this 14-passenger handicap bus. We come and pick up the resident. We get them on the bus. I'm on the bus. My team goes in and helps them shop, gets the buggies. I'm the lady at Meyer yelling everybody get the electric scooters, make sure they're charged. I call ahead to make sure that they have the buggies for the seniors. We help them put all the groceries in the bus. We take the groceries and the goodies to the door, and we even extend taking their goodies into their homes as well.
And that is Wednesday. What's the date? Wednesday.
22nd.
All right. So seniors, if you're watching this, please let your friends and neighbors know this too, because I know this is the best way to get out. Can we take your phone and get John Bergen to do the shout out for the Snowfest? John, you there? John?
But I'll put the flyer up.
Oh, I really wanted to see the phone up to the microphone.
Sorry, I had you on mute. My screen's hanging out.
Oh, there he is. All right. She's going to John, she's gonna put the flyer on the Elmo, and then we're gonna put that phone by a microphone. So do your Rotary update for Snowfest. Ready?
John, I gotcha. Yeah. The rec department's teaming up with Rotary, and we are taking the bus trip on, I don't have my glasses, the 26th of January. Departure is at 8 a.m. at Water's Edge, and the return time is 7:30. Tickets are $45 a person. You may register online at grosshillrecreation.com, or if you would prefer to stop into Water's Edge at the rec offices, that would be fine, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And they'll be shopping at Bronner's. I can't see. Chad, help me out.
Bronner's, the Kern Sausage, Frankenmuth Clock Company, Birch Run. So then we're going to go to Birch Run Outlets, John, on the way back? We'll start at Birch Run and then head up to Frankenmuth. Coffee and donuts are on the bus. I know I'm trying to get the screen. And then on the way back, are we allowed to announce that? Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese.
Wine
in
and
the
cheese
afternoon.
in the afternoon on the way back.
And on the bus, John, is this the bus that you kind of utilized last year when you made the trip?
Yeah, this will be a full-size luxury motor coach, Wi-Fi, restroom, ample legroom, enough storage you can buy to shop, pick and drop, fill it up.
Okay, so this is a really, really big bus. Community, I don't know if you hear, John Bergen is on speakerphone. He's out of town, but there's ample storage, Wi-Fi, plenty of space for shopping, and there are restrooms on the bus, and that's a positive. Anything else, John? Okay. $45, register online or stop into Water's Edge. 9 to 5 is our winter office hours, Monday through Friday.
Thank you, John. Next time we'll use Skype. Hey, John, quick question. Are you going to get to ride on the bus as a passenger with us, or? Yeah, that's why I called you last night, was to ask if you were actually going to be able to hang out with us on the bus.
So the tour guides are Sandy Cullen and John Bergen.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
That ought to be, no.
We're going to have fun.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Kevin, you got anything on for us?
Nope.
Mr. George Fulmer?
Well, we discussed at our study session a few weeks back that the soccer program won't be having a tournament this year.
Right.
So, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we pay for porta potties for the tournament? Wasn't that kind of out of our
They
budget?
Not
reimbursed
for
us.
theirs,
They
yeah.
did?
Not for theirs.
Okay. I know
They're
you'd
billed
ordered them, but
separately.
they were-
Yeah, they're
okay.
billed separately when we do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
our porta potties were like 3,400 with theirs added. It's like a little over 4,000.
Okay, so that was my concern. But we know that, we're gonna be lacking a lot of revenue without all those kids, so I guess that's one of our big concerns.
It sure would be nice if they could do even a small tournament with, let's say, 60 teams or something.
Maybe a local tournament?
Maybe something local. Fingers crossed.
We'll reach out to Gisa. I'll call Becky and Kevin, see if they can whip something up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, thanks. Wendy,
Nope, I don't have anything.
how'd your school sales and all that stuff go with the Secret Santa?
Oh, yeah.
Was that like crazy fun?
Yeah, it was, yeah, the kids had so much fun, so it was a lot, yeah.
Make lots of coin for that one too.
I mean, it's an even exchange, so, no. I mean, we sold what we bought, which was the main thing, so I didn't get stuck with
Thank you.
a ton of stuff. But yeah, it was fun. They had fun.
Karen, this is the festival commission now. Let's not get not recreation.
Duh. I have nothing to report at this time.
right.
Thank you, Chad.
You're welcome. Scott Rind.
First off, it would be the Sunday car show.
Yep.
I guess I'm thinking still on.
I would say, yeah, I think we should go with it.
But I would love to have some way to communicate to people if that bridge opens that week. So if I go around handing out flyers 2 months before saying, hey, use the pay bridge, and then all of a sudden it opens for that week. I mean, we're gonna have some kind of, I can direct people to a website and say, hey, this is gonna tell you whether it's open or closed, or should all of our stuff contain that?
Island
Or?
Fest website.
I'm hoping that at least the week prior to the festival, we will do the biggest shout out. I mean, we can rent that sign at the gas station at the end of the Free Bridge for a really good price. Well, I heard that come up at the board meeting Monday night, and I'm thinking, gee, didn't some other commission use that for the, I know, it's $50 a week. $50 a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
$200 a month for that board, which I think is a really fair price. Scott, we will put bridge open and we'll fly a plane around or something.
Okay.
Oh, a helicopter. We have it in with the helicopter ride guy. Thanks, Kevin.
Secondly, was there was a comment made at the end of the last meeting about township bylaws.
Yep,
Where is that at?
it's on the township website.
Is it easy to find?
I don't know since Brian redid the website because I went to find the minutes for the November 2019 meeting for a different commission, and you have to go into a portal, and then you have to go into what is the word, Jim? That means old. No. Fine.
Archives.
Archives.
Archives, yeah.
Thanks,
That's where
Wendy.
everything is. It's in the
And
archives.
we got
Asking Jim.
Scott. We got copies of them when we were voted in. I have mine right
I
here.
didn't. No, I didn't get his copy.
Well, Margie downstairs would be happy to give them to you, or I can
Like
send
a
you a
copy
link.
of the bylaws. That's
So
what
it was page 12 through 22 is what I
Yeah,
was
we have
given.
that.
Those, and they've been updated in the last 6 months, haven't they? Didn't they do those? That's what I have
Well,
too.
it's updated because
6,
of the
19,
commission
18.
You know, we changed the name of this commission to events or community events and festival. That was passed by the board, and we increased our number to, I think we started with
9.
nine.
That's 9.
9. So those were the only changes. As far as everything else, everything has stayed the same.
Then
on
that
this
does need to
commission.
be updated. The one he's got, if it still says 9, it needs to go to 11.
It's 11. So.
Fine.
The
But I
la-
do know, like in the past 6 months or something, they updated not just ours, but a lot of them, the verbiages.
Yep.
Right, Jim? Am I
Correct.
on that?
Good luck finding them, Scott. I searched all day. I couldn't find them.
Couldn't find them. Okay. I will search myself.
At the study,
Go to the clerk area,
I think it is clerk.
many windows. It took a long time to find it.
You hear that, Scott?
You saw it on the clerks?
It's a new company that
You
did it.
start in the clerk area, and then it opens to several different windows. It's kind of buried.
That's how I found the old minutes is how I found it. You have to go to the clerk and then you go in deeper into that.
then lastly, at the study session, there was a comment about training for commissioners on Michigan open meeting acts and things.
That was for chair people.
All right.
That was a meeting to have the chair people, the chairman and chairwomen of all the commissions on the island to meet once a year, possibly twice a year. That was BPAC, which is the Bicycle and Path. They originated that, but I thought I would put that word out there since we were all in the room at that time. I think it's a great idea, you know, and that
Okay.
way we're all comparing notes and
There was the once a year meeting for chairman,
yes.
but Supervisor Lostis brought in training on Michigan open meeting acts of what you can do in an open meeting and what you can't do. He wanted an education session done for that group.
I think that was just for the chairman also.
I think so.
Yeah, it was for the chairman and chairwomen.
Okay, but your meeting of chairman would be an open meeting where we could come and sit and,
Yeah, absolutely. Those are all open, those
Open.
meetings and study sessions.
what about this educational piece?
I would think that too. Unless that meeting or that study session is billed closed, anyone can come to it.
Right.
So,
All right, I would be interested in coming to it,
sure.
so. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about getting us in the room to explain. I mean, it was like an educational seminar, the first part. And then it would be, okay, how can we work with the zoning if we have anything that we need to zone, you know, or the bikes and path, or the, what are some other commissions? Green space, airport. Oh, airport. Oh, that's a good one. So, any other questions,
Oops, I have.
comments, Mr. Nelson?
Did I have one thing?
Yeah.
This is the time of the year when we have to elect and/or re-elect the chairperson for the next year. It has to be, it'll be approved by the board, I think, in March. So, depending on what you guys want to do, we're gonna have to either re-elect Chad or have somebody else decide to step forward, so.
So if you're interested in becoming the chair, I would submit an application and reach out to me. So we have the applications, and we'll start that process now, and we will announce that at CRC as well, Chad.
Yes.
So that was brought up at the board meeting, so we need to begin that process if you're interested in chairing this commission and CRC as well.
Let's remember, these seats go from April, the chair seats go from April to April.
Right.
So
Yep.
if anybody wants to take this seat on, they need to start shadowing me.
Is that open to anyone or
Yes.
just people on the commission?
It's open to anyone.
Yeah.
So and that'll be up on the website tomorrow. I meant to do that today, that we're accepting applications for chairman or chairwoman for CRC and events and festival.
Are we good? John, you got anything you want to bring? Kim?
I'm good.
Shout, sorry. Is that Mr. Nelson? Okay, one quick thing. We are in the process of booking the concerts for the summer concert series at Water's Edge. You guys can think of a couple bands that aren't going to break the bank, because it's about getting everybody together to have fun for, you know, a couple hours. It's not about doing a 3-day gig and stuff. Y'all have my emails and my phone numbers as Kim's, and public too. We are, like I said, and we're also in the process of putting our profile magazine together, which is the Parks and Recreation magazine, our spring and summer issue from May to September. So if the community out there or anybody up on this commission has any input, things they might like to see, good ideas, any kind of input, please reach out to Kim. All right.
I'll just, and since we're on TV, on the recreation Facebook page, I did post, I'm kind of focusing on health and fitness. It's January, and that's when people start to really think about health and fitness. So I had posted a couple of questions on Facebook. What would the community like to see? Whether it's a Weight Watcher class, a nutrition class, a fitness center, what types of exercise programs, all those types of things. I did put a post up there. I'm getting a huge, huge response. All positive comments. Thank you. Health and fitness should definitely not be negative. On social media, there is a lot of negative things on there now, but, you know, festival and commission, we want to keep everything as positive as possible, because we're kind of the keeping the people happy commissions, which is nice. So any feedback you have, classes, thoughts, email me. My email's up there. And any new events that the community would like to see as well, please bring that to my email or even to the commission chair or Trustee Nelson.
Thank you. All right, with that being said, the next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 19th, 2020. I would need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:57. Karen, second. Jim, all in favor? Yay. Thank you. Island Fest, May 29, 30, 31.